Top 5 Tobacco Blends. Warning: this list has been curated by an inexperienced pipe-smoking gentleman. The blends in this list were selected using a rudimentary knowledge of fine tobaccos, folklore, and my affinity for tin art. Cellar at your own risk. Welcome in all to the Society of Ordinary Gentlemen. I'm your host Danny, and we're here today, as the intro would suggest, to talk about the top 5 blends that I'm most interested in adding to my cellar. I know what you're thinking. He doesn't have decades worth of experience selecting fine tobaccos. No, I don't. But what I do have is a little bit of an interesting look at it. I've done a fair amount of research into the things that I would like to add to my personal cellar. And there's this concept called thinking in public. The idea being, after you've kind of done your notes and started to put together your ideas, you just go ahead and post them. And you allow others to come in and make tweaks, offer suggestions, and you take all of that into account, and then you finalize your theory. And that's what I'm hoping to do here. So with that in mind, number 5 on the list, Newminster's number 400 Superior Navy Flake, the finest Virginias from the US, Brazil, and Africa. So why choose number 400? Well, it's one of those best kept secrets in bulk blend buying that everybody already seems to know about. And I chose it above some other flakes that I'm also interested in, mostly because of its multi-tool aspect. It's inexpensive enough that I could get a fair amount of it, and I would like to try multiple different storage options when it comes to cellaring, and set up some vertical tastings so I can kind of see how things progress. I also would like to try blending up some of my own toppings, and I feel like this would just be a fantastic base for all those projects. And I'm told that it's fairly tasty as well. Number 4, from Briarworks, Pete's Beards Blend, Virginias and Latakia. They get me with a little bit of the tin art and the description. I've really been wanting to try an English, particularly an all-day English, something that's a little bit more approachable, and that's what this is, an all-day English blend for the Southern gent. I mean, and like the tin art, there you go. I mean, that right there is the tin art. It's the art on the outside of the jar. I'm interested to try it. Briarworks isn't what I would call a local brick and mortar to me, but it's definitely within that day trip kind of range. So I'm definitely going to try to make it down there sometime soon. I want to go on just like a regular Tuesday kind of thing. I will be at the Muletown Pipe Show next year. If at all possible, I'll be there. But I kind of want to go just on that normal Tuesday. I want to sit there. I want to talk over the counter. I want to browse some things. I want to have that more personalized experience. And while I'm there, I'll definitely be picking up some of Pete's Beards Blend, because it's medium body and refined, just like Pete's beard. Number 3, Haunted Bookshop. It's Burley's, Virginias, and Pre. It's also a love it or hate it kind of thing. I see people raving about it on the internet. I've also seen almost just as many videos of people going, what? Can somebody tell me what all the hype's about? Now, I have picked up a 10. I do own a single 10. I have it in the cellar of the Haunted Bookshop. There we go. It won't really pick up with the green screen, but I have it. It's right here. It's gonna be my second blend review though, because the date on it is 2/2 of 22, and like my OCD just won't allow me to break the cycle. It has to be the second blend review. I couldn't possibly do it first. So we'll find out if I'm one of those love it or hate it Haunted Bookshop kind of people. So if Bookshop is 3, what gets the number 2 spot? Now, I kind of wanted to make this the number 1 spot. Once you get up there in the list, it gets kind of hard to start delineating which ones go where. So number 2 is Epiphany. Reminiscent of the original Revelations. It's said to be the favorite of Albert Einstein. Virginia's, Burley's, Latakia, and Perique in unified harmony is the description. It sounds like a everything in the kitchen sink sort of blend. I'm told it's quite well balanced. They say it's not quite like the original. It's not quite Revelation. And I say that's okay, because I'm not quite Albert Einstein. Now, I'm much less close to Einstein than I'm sure Epiphany is to Revelations. But I really want this blend for that walking in the shoes, that historical connection sort of aspect. And that's why it gets the number 2 spot. Number 1, Blood Red Moon. A dark and rich blend of fired cured Cavendish, bright Virginias and Burleys, with aromas of Royland cherry and dark chocolate, offering a delightfully smooth smoke. It sounds delicious. It sounds a lot like a lot of the blends that I'm already enjoying. That being said, I want it for the tin art. I know I should pick them off flavor. I know. Like, the number 1 thing I want to put in the cellar should be all about the taste. All about the experience of it. But I want this. I want the tin art. I have a thing for the occulty kind of folk vibe. That vintage aspect of it is wonderful. Just the way they've done the art on the tin. Even if I don't enjoy the tobacco inside. I'm sure I will. It sounds delicious. It sounds like my kind of thing. But I kind of just want it. Like, if I don't enjoy the tobacco, I'll just sit it in the cellar and look at it while I'm enjoying something else. I like the vibe of it. I just like the way they've done the artwork on it. And I have to own a tin. So much so that I've made it the number 1 on the list. So I hope you've enjoyed this top 5, that it gives you a little something to think about, like where my process is and how it compares to your process. So if you've enjoyed the video, if you've enjoyed your time here and you'd like to join us for the next one, it's called A Anomalous Afternoon. It's the story of a smoke-themed party, pipe shopping for vintage at a yard sale that spans hundreds of miles, and conversations in the local brick and mortar so engaging that the bowls last twice as long. So the heat's actually broken this evening, so I'm fixing to adjourn to the canopy and enjoy this pipe. So until next time, I hope you guys are putting interesting things in the cellar, and we'll see you then.